Z Energy from Tribal Country 44. And I have a special guest that actually she actually doing a lot of numbers on TikTok right now. She go by Shalimar. Inanna. How you doing, goddess?
What's going on? I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Definitely. I just seen a lot of TikTok posts that actually resonate with a lot of things that's actually taking place right now, and the way the world is pretty much shifting. A lot of people are just shifting right into like different aspects of themselves or different culturalisms, like connection to like the spirituality and stuff like that. What is your like your intake and how did you came about of like your connections and stuff like that?
Well, like in 2016, my mother passed away. And after she passed away, I was going through like a spiritual awakening.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always, since a child, always really kind of been connected to the spirit world, never ever really like connecting to things, regular stuff that other kids would be doing. And when I was a teenager, all of the stuff that teenagers was doing when we was growing up in the 90s, I never fit in. And when my mom passed away in 2019, she was very spiritual. My mother's father was very spiritual. They allowed me to kind of like have my own experience without trying to say, this is what you need to do and this is how you need to be. They kind of allowed me to explore life on my own. But when she passed away in 2016, I had my third eye open. And it was, to say the least, it was kind of weird. Because I start hearing, I start seeing, I start feeling, I start knowing. It was like all my spiritual senses just started to open up all at one time. It was quite overwhelming. And I went through about a year and a half in the bed, going through like the dark night of the soul, where all of my shadows was coming out and I was having to look at myself through the lenses of my shadow self. I thought I was dying, and I was dying the spiritual death, as most people would call it, where life just will never be the same again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You start losing friends and everything, and nothing makes sense, and nothing's going right because you're trying to operate from the third dimensional way when your spirit is trying to pull you into the higher mind. So that's how things got started for me. And my life has not been the same since, where I'm constantly progressing, constantly exploring and discovering new things and new ways of being. So I don't lock in to nothing. I just flow with how the spirit say flow, and I just do what it say do.
Yeah. A lot of people actually experience that right now. A friend of mine named Zero, he said the spiritual death. He was talking about that, about how Lilith was saying you have to die of a spiritual death, and you're pretty much dead to this world when we actually come into this world, and the different tasks that we have to take. Now, undermining that, we still going through a spellbind like amnesia, so to speak. So it's like the amnesia taking over the different parts of you to block all that your different chakras from keeping you connected with your higher self.
Right.
And your higher self is pretty much, it's like trying to alert you, kind of like the wake up clock, and trying to get you to understand what your position is in this world.
Right.
I've been through that transformation as well. What you talking about now. I'm still going through the changes right now, and I'm still pretty much trying to like understand myself as well.
Right.
Where do you how did you get your connection with your yourself with Inanna, and how did the Anunnaki came about?
Yeah, so when I would say about 2 years after I went through my dark night of the soul, my mother came to me and my spirit team, they came to me. I was outside. This was in 2020, right at the onset of the COVID, when the world was silent, and I was outside grounded and I was meditating. And I had asked my spirit team, I was like, okay, I know that you guys are here with me, but you know, I want you guys to show yourselves to me because I feel like I'm ready. So I was outside grounding and I was outside meditating on the grass, and it was so quiet. Everybody was in the house, right? The earth was like, Mother Gaia was healing, right? She was recovering from eons of just traffic and smog and noise pollution. Everybody was in a house and the energy was quiet outside. And I saw like two white bird-like beings. Look like I ain't never seen no birds like this. And I was like, wait a minute now, there ain't no damn birds. And I had remembered they said, you said you wanted us to show up, and here we are. And it was two of them flying together side by side, just so elegantly, right? Effortlessly. And there was this third one that zipped by real fast. And I was like, oh shit, here they go, right? Ooh, they out here. And it was no cloud in the sky. I was living in Dallas at the time. And the two white birds, as they got higher and higher up above my house, because I lived in like a 2-story home, they turned into white orbs of light. Completely just white orbs. And I was like, oh shit, right? Here we go. And telepathically, I started to communicate with them. And I said, where is the third one? And in a far distance, it started flashing itself like this so that I could see it, that it was still present and it was still there. And I was going through a lot because my spirit team had told me it was time for me to quit my job. I was like, what the hell am I going to do without a job? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to take care of my kids? Y'all tripping, right? I was that ego death, that detachment, that material detachment was going on. So I was like 7 months behind on my rent, about $8,000, right? And so the orbs were there, and I said, come to me, come closer. And one of them started to move closer to me. The other one stayed back, but one of them began to move closer. And I was like, oh shit, here it go. I was like, my heart was excited, but I was scared at the same time, and it stopped. And it didn't come any closer because it didn't want to give me a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? It didn't want me to have a incident where I'll be dead because my fucking heart didn't fail, because of the excitement and all of the adrenaline. But they did send me a message. They implanted a thought into my mind. They said, go check your phone. And for whatever reason, I wanted to stay right there with them, but they told me to go get my phone. And I went to go get my phone. And the moment I picked up my phone, it rang. It was a organization that was going to help me and my children with my back rent. And they was like, Miss Thomas, we got you. We want to make sure you and your kids are okay. We're going to pay all of your back rent. They paid $7,000 in back rent for me and my kids so we wouldn't get evicted. Oh, you on mute.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, and that was just my spirit guides and my team telling me, we got you. Right? Yeah. That there is no way that we will ever leave you in this life. Like everywhere you step your feet, you taken care of. And from that moment, I've developed this unfuckwithable attitude about life, because knowing beyond a shadow of any doubt that I am protected, and I'm guided, and I'm taken care of, and that no matter what happens, that the universe is planning something on my behalf, even though my logical mind may not understand. That it's already worked out. So that they were helping me to develop my trust in the universe and in my spirit team, that no matter where I go, if my foot slips, I'm going to be all right. And it took some time, because a lot of people don't realize that we are under this illusion. We are in a web of fear. Yeah. Right? The web of fear is the amnesia. So we forget about our inherent God abilities. We forget that we are able to manifest things without thought, right? We forget that Mother Gaia takes care of us and provides for us, because the way that this inverted system has been created, It makes us fear what we don't understand. It makes us fear the unknown, fear what we don't see, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fear when we don't have a logical plan how to make things happen, right? Not understanding that it's already been worked out. So from that point, I was like, okay, thank y'all so much for showing up. I need y'all to show up again so I can videotape it. Maybe like 3-4 months later, and it's on my TikTok channel too. They allowed me the opportunity to record them, where they came as a legion of bird beings.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were all, oh, nobody else saw it. I was the only one. I was like, nobody else was getting out their cars. Nobody else was seeing this but me.
Third eye activation. Yeah.
And it was thousands of them just swirling and moving and dancing and in a bird formation and stuff like that. It was probably one of the most beautiful things I was able to see. And they were like beings, there was like birds of light. You know, you can see them flickering, moving, dancing, and twirling. The energy was moving in so many different directions. And it was absolutely a beautiful experience to see that. And every day I'm constantly in that space where I'm trusting the universe. You know what I'm saying? I've had to move around quite a bit. And the universe, like, we got you. I mean, I done been homeless. We didn't have to live in a hotel. They done found us another house. I was homeless. Then boom, they found us a hotel to live in for like a few months, and found every single time. It has never failed. And my spirit just say, just relax.
Mm-hmm.
We got you.
Mm-hmm. I was seeing one of your posts you had posted up about the Anunnaki apology, I think.
Yeah.
Where could you elaborate on that?
Well, yes. As far as my incarnation, and this incarnation, Inanna has chosen this avatar to come in to be what I would call the sacrificial lamb for the bloodline. You know, somebody who knows really what the purpose is, because as the Anunnaki, we very competitive. Our bloodline is very competitive. The Anunnaki at the time of our when we discovered the planet Earth, we kind of didn't know that the universe was bigger than as we thought it was, right? The universe is way bigger than just the Anunnaki. And when we came to the planet, we to higher species of beings, more mature species of beings, we're considered like an adolescent species. Because when we came to the planet, we just was running amok and acting an ass. You know what I'm saying? And being a master geneticist that we are, you know, the prime directive is no interference. That is the prime directive from the prime creator, from source. The cosmic rule is no interference with the evolution of another species unless they ask for permission. And that's just like our spirit guides. Our spirit guides, they don't come in and bother us unless we ask, right? We have to ask permission. We have to give them space to come in and do something. So when I made that video, it was to let the humans know that, yeah, we fucked up. Right? What we thought we were doing was a good thing. And it was in the eyes of the prime creator, because the prime creator is experiencing everything through us. So we come here and we do the things we did, radiation, nuclear shit, fucking with the time matrix, broke the fucking fourth dimension. So now people gotta sleep. We have to be responsible for what we created. Right? And apology was me taking responsibility on behalf of the bloodline for what we created, because everybody thinks this is what everybody thinks, that the Anunnaki coming back for judgment. No, we are back for the correction. This is the great correction.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah, I felt that.
This is the great correction. This ain't no the Anunnaki finna come back and destroy everything. Now, as far as what Marduk and them created down here in this time loop, yeah, that's got to come down, right? But we have to make sure we're responsible. Yeah, we got to be responsible for this. We're not here to wage war against the humans, right? Yeah. We're here to make things right. That's why as a child and as an adolescent and a young adult, I used to wonder, like, why I used to have this, I'm like, why I can't get past this ceiling, this glass ceiling? There's something blocking me from getting past this glass ceiling. And that glass ceiling was the wall that we created with the destructive energy that we allow in times past, in our parallel lives. You know what I'm saying? And we just here to fix it. And I had to say, although the human creation, right? You guys are phenomenal. We did an amazing job. We still got to take responsibility for the bullshit we left behind. You can't come to mama's house, fuck up, and then don't clean up after yourself.
Speaking about genetics, what the genetics was in engineering around that time, was it like different species was involved with them genetics? Like, I'm saying, like different planetary species from like maybe Sirius B and all that combined with the DNA?
Yes, because we are a part of a large, the Anunnaki didn't even know that they are even part of a larger, more grander genetic experiment, right? So that's why we all are so connected to the Sirius star system and the water beings, right? Because we're connected to that. And the Lyrans, you have the lion behind you. Many of us are connected to that. Many of us are connected to the avian beings, the aviation, the aviators, the astronauts. That's why many of us are bird beings like Thoth and stuff like that. So we are also, right, genetically blended and mixed. So when we came here with that within us, but we weren't operating, right? Because we're more like an adolescent, at an adolescent stage. They allowed us to do whatever we were doing without them interfering, because they said they got to grow up. They got to learn. They have to grow. They have to know that what you put out in the universe, you get that shit back. So it was like our older brothers and sisters, galactic brothers and sisters, had always had a very close tabs on what we were doing, close eye on us, but they couldn't interfere because they were not allowed to go beyond our free will, right? Until we saw that we were blocked from being able to do anything else. Then they call us into the Grand Galactic Council and they say, this is what you are going to experience for doing what you all did. And this is not punishment. This is just the swinging of the pendulum. And you will have the opportunity to really understand why it was not the best decision, but you have to make the decision and do the fucked up shit to learn. So this is a constant back and forth between the source and the creation and learning and growing, making mistakes, fixing them, doing better the next time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that apology was, just to say we acknowledge what we did. I acknowledge all the beautiful things that we allowed and we brought to the planet, but also acknowledging where we did not make the best decisions because we were operating out of our own ego. We were on a power trip.
So I feel like the mother and the father of the cosmos, I pretty much don't know too much about the, the origins of it, but I just say mother and father. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's just how parents would discipline their kids. Like everybody have a disciplinary actions for any interactions with like civilization and evolution. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that was like a punishment, you feel me, from the higher source.
Well, it wasn't a punishment. It was a consequence.
Okay.
Yeah. Think of it as a consequence.
As far as like the gold, what was like the gold is like intended for, like what was the use and the purpose of the gold, like, you know what I mean, coming back and forth and receiving this gold?
Well, sustaining our environment, right? Because gold holds so much value as far as the way that it does. It's twofold. One, as we loop in our orbit, which is the loop is crazy, right? The way we loop through the solar system, we come so close to the sun that we need support from the heat rays from the sun, the radiation from the sun. We need protection from that. The gold does that, right? Mm-hmm. Because it transforms that heat into energy, and energy turns into power, right? So we're able to power our ship and power through our elliptical. And when that energy is need to be reserved, right? When we're so far away from the sun, it provides additional heat for our orbit when we are further away from the sun and the sun's raising heat. So, you know, like Pluto is like, they call it the ice planet, right? The planet is made of ice because it's so far away from the sun, is very cold. But when the Nibiru is out further past Pluto, we're still able to function and have warmth because of all of the gold within our atmosphere that was able to pull in the frequencies from the sun for when we have to go back out. So it lasts us a good while. It's like putting coals inside of an oven to heat. You know what I'm saying? You get enough of it to last you for so long, or oil or gas. You know what I'm saying? It's an amazing source of energy.
I was taking a piece from Rod Hayes' blog. He was talking about how the genetics was like in programming some in the species to produce gold.
Mm-hmm.
So like by them being here on Earth and the vibration, it forms that the particles, which goes with the frequency, turns into gold. So it's like the gold is like pretty much produced just by them walking around.
Yeah.
And I heard that also that the other beings, by them being here, they produce oil. So certain beings have a certain kind of ability while they're here on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And what is like the effects and you know, from the gold and is I know it's like a much needed item, you know what I mean, as far as like having it consistently every so many centuries, you know what I mean?
I
It's
think
like
after this experience with the Anunnaki, the need for gold, we won't need it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because as we are upgrading in our own DNA, in our own abilities, in our own scientific pursuits of knowledge, right? We won't have to have actual physical gold, like you said, because it's in our bodies. The Anunnaki, we didn't necessarily know how to be alchemists. So we didn't have the ability at the time when we colonized Earth to produce that energy from within, because we were so technological. It was kind of like we were searching for sources outside ourselves to do. But now we are in that space, like we talked about the other day, activating your Merkaba, right? Using that within to activate us instead of the things outside of us to sustain us. So we're evolving as well. So we will no longer need that, need to produce gold outside or get gold to produce to enhance our environment. We'll be able to do that on our own with our own bodies.
Okay, with the planetary shifting, is this going to like have an effect? Is we gonna have a new council over this planet Earth? Is we gonna have like a new like structure for the like 5D Earth energy that's coming in, that's actually changing the whole grid and the structure?
Yeah, everything is gonna be new. Everything. Like I know a lot of people read the Bible, and the Anunnaki basically was telling these stories through Inky and stuff like that. It's been a little bit manipulating this stuff over the years, but it says that all things will become new. Behold, I've created a new heaven and a new earth. Means the 4D is going to be elevated. Means the 5D is going to be elevated. Means the physical world is going to be elevated. And the way we operate in this world is not going to look anything like it looks right now. Right? It's going from a council of patriarchy, a patriarchal council, to a matriarchal council, to round tables, to tribes, right? Back to tribes, back to round tables. It's not gonna look like it looks now. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be, and the more people fight against what the inevitable is, they will fall off in frequency. They will die off. And that's just, evolution doing what she does, nature doing what she does. So it ain't gonna be no more like, oh, we own the planet. because I just had a conversation with mother, and I was in there in the bathroom on my knees crying because she said, nobody owns me. Earth is a sentient being in and of herself, right?
Mm-hmm.
She is a feminine energy. She is a, if I had to say, she's a woman, right? And she's like, nobody owns me. Like a woman would say this, walking in her power, no man owns me. Right? I own myself. And if I decide to share myself with you, you better be grateful. Right? And I said, well, mother, what is it that you want us to do? She said she wants us to get back. One of the things she wants us to get away from is money. She says, because I produce every fruit, every herb, everything that you all need. And I don't charge you. Right? I don't charge you a dime. She said, when the apples grow from the tree, you eat the apple and you just plant the seeds again. That's how you give back. But the seeds were already there, right? So the seeds don't even belong to you. You're just giving the seeds back to where they came from so that we can continue to produce. But we have this distorted view on, she tied the whole energy of the spiritual community and the manifestation and everybody trying to manifest money and trying to manifest this and trying to manifest that. Mother Gaia don't like that. She don't like that shit at all. She done with that. She said, you all are going to see that we have to get back to what's natural for us. And she said it's okay because she knows that it's like children playing, right? They tapping into games and frequencies and vibrations that they never had before. But she said when it all boils down to it, when it all said and done, she said ain't gonna be none of that around. That it's gonna be nature. And that's it. Nature, us getting back to our childlike essence. Mm-hmm. She said nobody's playing anymore, right? Nobody's imagining anymore. Nobody is believing anymore. We've become too good, too grown. That's what she was saying. Y'all too grown.
Like a real grandmama would.
Yeah.
She mother, have a motherly spirit.
Mm-hmm. She said, you're too grown. She said, y'all don't play enough no more. Y'all fight, argue, nobody forgives. She said, well, she remembered a time when we were like children. And everything was like a game. It was like a wonderful exploration. It was like the imagination was just so beautiful. She said, we don't do that no more. She said she missed her babies, right? She wanted her babies to come back to just being children. And she said it's going to require us to stop being so logical, right? Allow ourselves. She said, my boys don't feel no more. They don't cry. They don't come and sit in the bosom of the mother and just be, right? They too busy. She said, y'all too busy for your mama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a lot of men tend to hold their cries in too as well.
Yeah. She just was showing me how she just want to just rock you, right? You know how a mother would just rock her baby and just pat him and stuff. She said, I miss my boys. I miss my sons. They don't cry no more. They don't come check on their mama, right? They too busy trying to be what society and this patriarchy has conditioned them into being in. And my daughters they're not covered, right? Because they trying to go running after the boys and telling the boys come back. And the boys aren't listening. The girls, then they start to get these masculinity about themselves, right? Because they are in a position where they have to protect themselves and they forget about mama too.
Mm-hmm. So they try to masculize the female too as well. Yeah. That's why you see that some of the females with the kind of want to take the man role and want to, be that man, and it offsets the balance between the feminism and the masculine, because they try to do the male just like that as well. Yeah. So they try to separate the two to create conflict between each other.
Mm-hmm. When all we got to do is become vulnerable, right? We need to play. We need to love. We need to just be in that energy of unconditional love for one another. It's like she was showing me that most of the men are really scared of the woman. A lot of men are scared to be vulnerable with the woman, right? if you allow yourself to be seen, your insecurities, your vulnerabilities, that is your most, that's power.
Mm-hmm.
I pine for the day when a man will come into my life and show me who he is and become naked and unashamed. Where are you weak? Where are you hurt? Right? I wanna love you there. Right? I want to comfort you there. I want to be there with you, for you. You don't have to fear me, right? I'm here. I want you to be in your power. But it requires us to be able to be vulnerable. And it's so important. And a woman has to be vulnerable. She has to trust, right? That when her man is vulnerable, he's not weak, right? That he ain't a weak nigga just because he cried. He ain't a weak nigga because he feel. He's supposed to feel.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's his connection to the mother, to his feminine energy. And it's been diluted and it's been distorted and we've been cut off. And it's time for us to come back to the mother energy. Come back
so
to
what
it.
do you what do you think about what's going to like have the effect and what's going to happen to like some of these beings that so-called want to maintain control and power over the people?
Oh, they already done lost power. They ain't got none. Right now is they last
playing a game.
This is they last. It's they last. They got. It's like we playing spades, right? And then you know you got the joker and the big joker, and everybody just like, and they done overbid it, right? They got like a 2 of hearts or something. Somebody got 2 of hearts. Somebody got a 2 of diamonds, and 2 people, and one person got a spade. They trying to play poker right now to make it seem like that they have the power, but they've already lost power. You know what I'm saying? We are observing what tarot readers would call the tower moment, where the tower falls down because lightning has already struck it. And if you in that motherfucker, you gonna get buried underneath the rubble, but you best jump out of the tower. So the game has already been won. We're just watching the aftershocks of that unraveling. So they no longer have control. They no longer have power, and they know it.
Okay. So what's the deal with the AI situation? Like, you know, part like the AI. Oh, the AI running the government right now. You know what I mean?
Predictive programming. It's predictive. It's predictive programming. I was telling my sister this yesterday. You remember that movie RoboCop?
Yeah.
Okay, so now they showing us at the Saints, was it the Saints? Who was that football team in the Rams or whomever?
Yeah,
that they had AI at the Rams. Now, a lot of the stuff that we see on TV now is not real.
Gotcha.
It's not real. It's them using the predictive programming to wake up everybody from the amnesia.
Gotcha.
Right?
So with the movies and stuff.
Yeah. So like, AI is never going to be a problem on the planet, like people say. If Elon Musk is talking about giving people, the Neuralink, right, connecting consciousness and starting kids, this is to wake us up. Because one of the things that mother is like, you don't fuck with the babies. We don't mess with the children. You know, the child trafficking that has been going on. Elon Musk is offering the Neuralink to kids and stuff like that. These are things we just don't mess with. And then all of the trans and the sexual stuff that's being pushed on the children in the schools and all these different things. You don't mess with the children. That's a no-go. We don't do that. So in order for humanity to be able to open their eyes, right, to where we need to get back to what's nature, they got to fuck with the kids. And when they start fucking the kids, you're going to have all the adults like, hell no. Right? So we can wake up from the amnesia. But it's a show. It's a show to wake people up. It's not real. Most of the stuff we see on TV is just a show. Joe Biden is not even real. So it's like they showing you they wearing masks and stuff like that. A lot of these people that have been doing this, I don't even think that the Elon Musk that we see is the real Elon Musk either. You know what I'm saying? They've all been kind of like dealt with in a way, and we're just going through the stage of this movie, we're just, grab your popcorn, relax, get you some stock up, some shit gonna happen to fucking shake us. It has to happen. It's like, it's an inevitability. There has to be a great shaking. It was spoken of in a Hopi prophecy that there will be a great revolt, right? That the people, the black people, the water beings, as the Way of the Water avatar, and the water and the Black Panther, the melanated beings who represent water, which is the most powerful of the four elements, we would rise first. And then the other tribes, then the natives, which represent the earth, the Asians, the Asiatics, they represent the air, and the white Caucasians, the Europeans, they represent the fire nation. They will all join us.
Right. Yes.
Right? And demolishing this system that has just mind fucked everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so we come into that at this point. Because I had a vision, I had a dream about the blue Sarkashina. That's the final prophecy of the Hopi prophecy, saying that the great day of purification is coming. Yeah.
So speaking of water beings, from what I was like feeling as well, the water beings are very active right now.
Extremely.
And people don't realize when you're going into these waters, if you don't contribute on to make an offering for protection being in these waters, you become the offering.
Yeah. I know y'all been seeing these whales flipping over these ships.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they not playing, because they feel your frequency. It's like water beings, whales, dolphins are the most psychic, telepathic beings on the planet. They come from Sirius. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you go into this water, you go into these waters where it is the emotions of the planet, right? It's a filtration system of the planet. You go on there playing, you gonna get your feelings hurt. You're gonna get your feelings hurt. I don't know if y'all seen that video with all of the orca whales. There were hundreds, maybe thousands of them out there in the water. And the ships were like, we've never seen such a thing. They was lucky their hearts were right. Because they just gave them a show. But you go out there and doing some stuff you ain't got no business. Like now, we finna start seeing the hurricanes. They're gonna be massive hurricanes. I've seen it destroying the East Coast. I'm Merkaba to New York in the future, and I saw it. New York was gone. Virginia, people weren't even ready. They weren't ready. The Leviathan has already been unleashed. The Kraken.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's already been unleashed.
That's one of the higher ranks in the legions, the Leviathan, which is dealing with the Goetians and stuff like that, which is the Goetians that set the principalities of your powers that's entwined with you and yourself and your higher self, because everybody comes with a legion,
right?
And an army. Our army is within inside of us. Our legion within inside of us. And the light bearers, which is us, because we walk the pathway of trying to find, identify, and wake up from the amnesia. I do know this too. The angels, the angelics, is actually going through reprogramming people right now in their sleep. So while you sleeping, people are actually DNA is actually being programmed right now. That computer DNA. Yeah,
there's a lot of healing. It's a lot of healing going on.
There's a lot of healing. You can feel it in your sleep. People getting up, feeling like your back, like you fell or something, or you're getting rashes on your legs and stuff like that. That'd be the program of the angelics going around and trying, let me program this DNA and see who's ready, see who's not ready. You know what I mean, so to speak. Because all you have to do is ask, and you shall receive.
You sure will.
The biggest thing is the tongue. The tongue is the God of knowledge to bring in that strength and that frequency, that connection in with your guidance and these different animals that resonate with you, the guidance.
Right. I resonate more with the water beings, like the whales and the dolphins and stuff like that. Whales, dolphins, lions, and the birds.
Mami Wata.
Yeah, Mommy Wata.
Yeah.
And she called me to go to California in June. I went to California. She said, "I need you to get in. I need you in the ocean." So I went for a week, and I just was in the water and baptizing myself, cleansing my aura, cleansing my energy field. I just seen 444 when I said that. And it was necessary because I never been to California for one. And then after I left California, I had a vision, a dream about California receiving a tidal wave of water. And in that vision, I was able to hold it so that it wouldn't come when it was Spirit was showing me that I have to hold the water back so that some more people can leave. You know what I'm saying? Because not enough people have been paying attention and watching the signs. And that's one of the reasons why I went to California, was to hold. I was in the water physically to hold the water in the spirit realm. So it's like more people, Spirit has really been trying to hold water by giving us these visions and these dreams. We're working a lot in the astral realm and the spirit realm to give more people time to escape some of these places and stuff like that. That's really gonna feel a lot of that pain.
Corrosion around the coastal lines because of the energy you have to do the cleaning. It's almost like saging the planet, so to speak, because the water is more like Florida water. If you want to be technical about it, it's like Florida water, or we can say like the Vatican used the holy water, so to speak. So the water is being purified with the ocean's blessings to bring remnants to the planet,
right?
To bring that energy and so-called like kind of like close off this destruction, not destruction, but this energy that been holding this planet ransom for like billions of years.
Yeah.
So we got billions of years to clean up. So I expect the planet to go through these changes like it is now, because it's gonna take time, because time after time we're seeing it right now in real time.
Yeah. Think about your woman when she goes through her monthly phases of cleansing and purification, and she going through emotional ups and downs. It's like the earth is a woman.
Yeah.
So when your woman not feeling her best, you better move your ass out the way.
Yeah.
Her energy, energy when she's not balanced, when her body is toxic, right? She go through so many things, like you said, cramps. When your body is full of toxins, you have stomach cramps. You be pissed off and mad at everybody. You losing blood from your brain. And you so aggressive. Mother Gaia feels that same energy, because what are we doing? Drilling holes in her.
Yeah.
Throwing trash and garbage in the oceans, right? Putting fluoride in the water. You don't think that makes her stomach hurt?
Yeah.
That's like when you eat something bad and your stomach started to bubble and stuff. You got bubble guts. That's how she feels. So y'all don't think that she just gonna come and clean house, because she's detoxifying herself. So don't take it personal, but she gotta get well. It's like we are visitors on her, right? Parasites, some of us, right? Some of us are the good white blood cells. Some of us are the parasites, right? Sucking up
parasites. These parasites been here for a minute, causing a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Speaking of the parasites, what the foods is being redone over. Everything GMO is now is starting to get taken off the shelf. GMO. And with the people, I've been seeing this on TikTok too. Where they doing is like a person could be sitting at like like having a lunch or in some kind of place or whatever, event, whatever, and they just get up and just spin around and die. Is is that like more like getting rid of like some of the unwanted guests? That's what I'm saying.
What I would say is this, and Mother has really expressed this to me heavily, right? Because one of the things she don't like is us being mean to other people. She don't like that because she says this, and she reminds me through my own life how my motherhood was. So I have 5 children that I gave birth to myself, right? And I love my children. But she said, remember when you became a stepmom for the first time? I said, yes, ma'am, I do. She said, that's when you became a mother. That is when you truly became a mother. Because it's easy to love your own, right? It's easy to love your own. It's easy to love the children you gave birth to, but somebody else's who didn't come from you, it really shows your capability of being a mother. And I was like, wow. So she said, there's no such thing as people who don't belong on the planet. Everybody's here because they're supposed to be here, right? Our job is, as originals of the planet, right, to learn how to be step parents, love those who didn't necessarily come from us, the nature of Earth, right? We came from the ground. We came from the earth. There are some that we created. Of course, you know the Anunnaki story. We genetically modified using dogs, pigs, stuff like that, right? So then we have beings that exist that didn't come from the ground. They came from labs, right? So we have to love and honor our own creation. We can't disown our own creation because we created it. So when she looks at those who are parasitical on the planet, right, there is still love, but she understands that they're not strong enough to survive. So when you see the people passing out, dying, all these things, it's not that Mother Earth doesn't love them. She loves the parasites. But she said they're too weak to survive the incoming frequencies and the energies that are happening to the earth and that she's terraforming. Like when you have parasites in your body and you go on a fast, right? Or you do a cleanse and you do a detox, the weakest things die off first. And that's what we're seeing in the world, is the die off of the weaker vessels, the weaker things. And that's not to say it's a bad thing. It's just what we've created, and we gotta own that shit. Yeah. It's our responsibility. It's like we disowning our own creation. Like we didn't make it. Like I ain't make that. We didn't do that. Mother God looking at Mother Earth kind of looking at like, yes, the fuck you did. You brought that here. You created that. Now you just want to throw it away like you didn't make it, like throwing a rock and hiding your hand. Oh, I ain't do that. No, yes, you did. You did. I saw you. You don't, everybody didn't see you do it, but I did. I was like, okay, Mother.
So, do you feel like some of the Sirius B and the Anunnaki here?
Yeah.
In our solar system right now?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We ain't never went nowhere.
What about as far as like the Inky? Do you feel like Inky's here already? Or
yeah, we all here. We all back. Because we can't, ain't nobody getting away with this.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Right? Ain't nobody
I wake up. I feel the energy like every day. I can feel it when I wake up. You know what I mean? I feel it when I wake up. The time I go to sleep, it's like my body just like vibrating at like a higher rate than it ever did before. Because I like Rod was saying, man, we actually everybody going through this ascension. Yeah, we you know what I'm saying, the Earth is moving so fast at the speed of light right now, and it's transforming the particles in the body. The body is like redefine, redestruction, the evolution of the crystal body finna take place.
Yes.
And this new 5D earth energy that's coming in.
Yeah, and it's beyond that. The crystalline body is beyond the 5D.
Yeah, crystalline planet.
We are beyond the 5D. I feel like right now, the way that the earth is in the upper fourth dimensional, well, not quite, in the mid fourth dimensional frequency. Yeah. You know, and as we go up into the higher form dimensions of the fourth dimension, that's when people gonna start seeing stuff. more people gonna start seeing stuff. I don't know if you remember that movie Bird Box.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
When people start seeing stuff, that's probably why you see a lot of people passing out, because their heart can't handle the frequencies and the energies of the planet. My sister was like scared that something was in her house because I was talking to her on FaceTime and the lights was behind her flickering. Oh, I was like, oh yeah, they in your house. She was like, they better get out my house. I was like,
it's dealing with judgment. Is it dealing with judgment of the heart right now?
Judgment of the heart, absolutely.
Because like if a person have holding on so much depression and so much stress or whatever, they become that they in that box of the lower frequency.
Yes.
And that makes the body so weak, and the body can't take it, and the body just like give up.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, because it cannot hold.
So if you live in your heart space right now, you like continue this journey. I'm gonna continue this journey. I'm gonna learn a little bit more.
Yes, and have the open mind, have an open heart, receptivity, right? A lot of us have to walk in forgiveness. That's so important. Forgiveness is in the heart. And if you think about when I was talking earlier about the inner child, you think about a light form, just pure light, pure consciousness, pure love, pure light is within the heart. And the more and more you break out of the shell, the mold of, and your heart is expanding. A lot of people be having heart palpitations because that's the heart, the light within the heart trying to expand and grow beyond. But people hold in so much resentment, grudges, grief, right? And it hurts, and they be like, oh, and people having heart palpitation. When the heart is trying to expand, right? And go beyond the limitations of this dimension, it hurts people when your heart isn't creeping. That's why I cry so much. That's why it's important to cry. That's why it is important to release tears, because those tears are connected to the heart and the pain in the heart. That's why it's important to do your shadow work and go within your inner child and heal your inner child.
I was just going to mention that. Speaking of shadow work, like when you start doing shadow work, it's like yourself is like trying to come to amends, like trying to like get all these different personalities and different energies from all different parallel universes, because your energy is everywhere. And it's trying to condense it down where you can just stabilize it and have control. So one of the things with shadow work, it's gonna go make amends with your mother, your father. I learned to accept my father. I said it is what it is. I love him for what it is.
Yeah.
I don't condone him for what he did to me. You know what I'm saying? Just left, you know what I'm saying, left the house, and I had to take that pain of not seeing them every day. And my mother, she was like, so like, holding a grudge and stuff, like, oh, yo, daddy ain't shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because how women is with it, somebody lead the life and stuff like that. She tend to pick up like, drinking more and stuff like that, because it hurted her so bad. And I hated this. I hate seeing her like that. So one of my biggest things, I said, I went to, I said, I apologize. Just as a son, even though my, father is not there, I had to make amends with her. So I tell her, I say, I love you, mom. And she like, like them cancers kind of like hold it in, like,
they hold some grudges.
She real feisty, so she like, but deep down later on, you it's gonna resonate with you. You're gonna feel what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I had to make amends because I had to make amends like that, because I feel much better, much comfortable like
that.
I'm trying to progress. I'm trying to like evolve. I'm trying to evolve to my better self. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
that's critical. That is the most critical part. Is to acceptance, right? Look up the 7 stages of grief, and when you get to that place where you're in acceptance of what is, right? It's freedom. Because when you think about it, everybody is in search of the same thing. Even who we perceive as archons, right? The evil people of the world, they want freedom because they can't leave the planet either. They stuck here too. just like everybody else. They can't leave because we are held in by this wall firmament. And some of
There's
us
so
have
many
learned
here.
to be able to surpass that wall firmament through the moving our spirit bodies. But you gotta come to a place of it. And even if you have utilized your spiritual abilities and you have not come to a place of acceptance in your physical world, you will still be tormented.
Yeah.
You gotta forgive. Forgiveness and acceptance is so critical. Both of my parents transitioned, and I've experienced men in my life that mirrored men who are emotionally unavailable. My father was not there in my life, right? He was on drugs. He was super spiritual, but he was very masterful in his spiritual gifts because he would just end up in places that I was. So he was merkuping where we were. He was looking in on us in the spirit, but he wasn't present in my life. And I always wanted my daddy in my life, right?
Respect. That's respect.
And I had to come to terms with the fact that he wasn't there. He came to me and I said, Daddy, what is this? Because this man that I didn't, kind of fell in love with, he kind of reflects your energies and stuff.
Yeah.
What is this? And he showed me in the spirit what it was. And then he started playing that song in my head by Anita Baker, No Fairy Tales, right? He said, I was not there. I was not there for you. I wasn't supposed to be there for you. I wasn't supposed to be there for you because we wrote and we had a soul agreement before you came into this incarnation that you would choose me for your father because you knew I was not going to be there for you so that you can learn. You wouldn't be who you are right now had I been there, baby. Right? Mm-hmm. My mother was hard on me, right? I wouldn't be who I am right now if my mother wasn't hard on me. So I had to love my mother for doing her part. She did what she was supposed to do.
Hard on you. Especially coming up.
Did what he was supposed to do. Yeah. Our parents did exactly what they were supposed to do because they knew some of them knew in the spirit realm, but they didn't know in the physical realm. My parents knew in the spirit and the physical realm. My mom told me flat out, I didn't love your daddy. We only was together to have you. So I was pissed off at my mom, like, why you with my daddy if you didn't love him? What the hell? Right? She knew. They were very tapped in. She knew why I had to be born. My daddy knew why he had to be the way he was. And it was the part I didn't accept that because I had this mindset, this way of thinking of what parents should be. Right? They tell us on TV, parents who kiss their kids from going home to school and all this stuff. No, that wasn't our life. So we could learn how to become what we didn't have. You know what I'm saying? If my mom had kissed me and did all those loving things to me, I wouldn't be the goddess Inanna. I wouldn't be who I am right now. I wouldn't be able to teach other people. I wouldn't have the wisdom and the understanding of life that I have right now. So I've accepted it and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
Recognizing that these are soul agreements that we come here to fulfill. Even with our own children, my children have observed me. I have adult children. My 23-year-old and my 22-year-old, they be like, Mom, you cry all the time now. You used to be fucking going off, snapping, fighting. I used to fight with my daughters, fist fight. We will boom, 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 right? Now I could never see myself being that way. Mm-hmm. And they see me different now. And they understand that I'm going through this spiritual blossoming, right?
Yeah.
And at times we got to sit down and I got to say, you know what, you guys, I didn't know what I was doing when y'all was little. Right? I didn't understand. I was only regurgitating behavior that I saw from my mother. But I'm here to break the pattern and break the cycle. So forgive me for not knowing what the fuck I was doing because I didn't know what I was doing. Because they say the two younger ones, they get all the good stuff. I was like, because I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm better. I understand that it ain't even take all that. But it did take all that. You know?
It always be like that. Because
it
always be somebody that's real close to you and have a good aura. Like I noticed because like some of my uncles that used to do a lot, and throughout life they like if they give you their last dollar, and still like, yo, you want to make some money, you could come with me and help me out or such and such, or you have some great aunties like whatever you need, I'm here for you, baby, type of thing. And you notice that it always be the good ones that go first. Boom.
Yeah.
Now you got to deal with the ones that have that egotistic type of behavior, like the grudge, like what you need me for? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just forgive him and move and keep it moving.
Yeah.
You know, because I said I've had to, you know, deal with people who don't forgive me for what I used to be. I'm not that person anymore. Right? If you have to accept me for who I am in this current moment, I'm not that person anymore. That person is long died. Right? And that's because they aren't able to let go. They aren't evolving. They want to stay in the past. They have that connection with that anger they identify with. It is what makes them who they are. Instead of them just letting it go and letting bygones be bygones, we hold these grudges because we identify with that. When you stop identifying with your pain, you can become happy. Right?
Okay.
You go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with the everything that's taking place right now, there's gonna be a. Do you feel like the women's gonna take a stance of being that new rulership for this new world that's coming in?
What you think?
I believe it. I can feel
Absolutely. That's divine order, right? We came to bring order back to earth. You know what I'm saying? Because when all things were as created, and spirit brings me to that place where source was neither male nor female, it was a blend of it all. So it was within the darkness, right? Within the great womb, the cosmic womb was the light. So within the great cosmic darkness is the feminine energy, the double X energy, was the light, which was the XY energy. And it was like God, spirit, source, whatever you want to call it, was kind of like wanted to experience itself, wanted to see itself, wanted to play. And we had the cosmic womb then gives birth to the light. And we see the light. The light does not look like us, and it's not familiar to us because it's always been encapsulated within us. And the light sees the darkness and know the darkness not, because the light was always within the darkness. So it didn't know and didn't have a way to differentiate itself as separate. So as we play in this game of separation and remembrance, the darkness is the XY, the masculine energy, and the light is the XY, the masculine energy, and the darkness is the double X, the feminine energy, right? Now we're playing with each other. The black hole is where all light is sucked in and reborn as light again. Right now we're going through the great cosmic womb. We're being rebirthed, right? And you know when a baby coming through the woman's canal and they had that cone head?
Yeah.
That's
how to shape it when they come out.
Yeah. We ain't supposed to do that. We're not supposed to shape that baby head when they come out the mother's womb. We're supposed to allow it. Like we're supposed to allow it to be like it is, because it gives the brain more room to expand and the neural connections in the brain to do what it's supposed to do naturally. But when we mold ahead and we're compressing the room, the Syrians have we have the elongated skulls.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. Okay.
Yes. So the masculine energy has to learn to not. Masculine puts shape to things, right? We form things with masculine energy. So the masculine energy has to learn how to stop shaping shit and allow it to be as it is.
Take its course. So to speak.
Let nature take its course. So when you're going through the great cosmic womb, you finna have your head finna be elongated. They do it in Africa as a practice, right? But because we've learned to adopt it the way of being of shaping the baby's heads and stuff, we supposed to be doing that. Leave the baby head like it is, so that brain can expand and those neural connections can do, the synapses can do what they supposed to do. Needs more room.
That explains the people with the bigger kind of like heavy, you know, like they call them, big head, such and such, you know what I'm saying? Because their head's so like big, you know, like massive. And you like, you know what I mean? Because it's a guy in Africa. I forgot his name, but he's doing TikTok and his head is like this right here. And I say, I know something special about him. Yeah. I just you can't see through the glamour right now.
He
The glamour,
probably is a descendant of Yakub, because we had
yeah,
Yakub was a big head scientist.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, he was
It's a dude over there right now. I had
yeah.
saved his videos in my TikTok, and like
Mm-hmm.
he's massive head like this, and he making a lot of TikTok. He got a lot of followers. He just
Yeah.
making like videos with this another African dude. He's like a comedian or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like into Orisha real heavy. You can see the traditional tribal,
The
you can see
bees.
his, yeah, the beads, and you can tell the way he speak, but he's doing comedy. I guess just to make a living off of it.
Right.
But and you could just identify somebody that's into occultism just by
Yeah.
looking at the tradition. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like right now, we're going through the great cosmic wound. We're going through the great rebirth. That's why it's painful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it
Yeah.
hurts, and but it's necessary, a necessary part of the rebirth. And yeah, a woman when she's going through pain, birthing pains, it's travailing. It's some hollering, it's some crying, it's some blood, it's some water, right?
Yeah.
But in the end, you come out with this beautiful being, this beautiful child that has been reborn, right? And you forget about all the pain. You forget about all of the stuff you went through to get through that moment. So that's what we experiencing right now.
I gotta read up on a lot of those civil books. I know Mammy Wata got the civil book. I'm gonna go through that on a reading tip. And also I got a couple more questions and we can go ahead and end it out.
Yeah.
Man, I thank you for your presence and your your blessings, and you being here and just speaking nothing but the realness and spirituality truth that people actually need to see.
Right.
Because everybody's part of this new evolution. It's nobody's left turned the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's in this together, and we all have a ability about ourselves. What is some of the message that you have for for the world, for everybody to actually know, coming from your council, coming from your people?
Coming from our people, I channel a lot from the angelic realm. I channel a lot from the Lyrans, the Syrians, Mother Gaia, Mother Kai, those large consciousnesses that people really don't really tap into because we so human experience focused that sometimes we miss the bigger picture. So I channel a lot of the bigger picture. Mm-hmm. And what they want us to do, like we talked about, they want us to establish heart-based movements, right? This is a movement of the heart, because Mother Gaia is the heart chakra, mm-hmm. right? And if you can't keep up, if your heart is too heavy, and we know this from the Egyptians, when Ma'at weighs the heart with the feather, it's gotta be light. Your heart mm-hmm. has to be light. So it's time to start removing the shit from your mm-hmm. heart. And it starts mm-hmm. with our minds. We have to mm-hmm. start unbelieving and unknowing. Mm-hmm. When we think we know shit, we don't know shit. Mm-hmm. Right? Exactly. Because that keeps us in a box, in a paradigm. I had a vision that I was removing metal plates from a person's head, and I love him dearly. And it's because of belief systems that we've held on to and we've identified with. You are light, mm-hmm. right? Pure light. And the only thing that light is unconditional love and ecstasy. It has no shape. It has no color. It has no form. It is. So you got to make yourself real small these days to stop identifying with shit, right? And of course, we use these identities in this world as we navigate and as we're peeling back the layers of the onion, right? But this is time we got to get uber small, where we have to see ourselves as absolutely nothing in this grand cosmic scheme of things, right? Because mm-hmm. once we see ourselves as pure light, We won't have no hiccup, hang-ups, and traumas and dramas. You're able to see people for truly who they are, and that's what we are. We are light. We are love.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We are not these identities that we have held on to in this ego to keep us safe, right? We don't have shit to be keeping us safe from anyway. It is the mind that created this whole thing, right? And the powers that be know this. So they use your mind, they use your heart to create this matrix and to keep it running and to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
But the more we relieve ourselves from the need to identify with these things that we see, right? The more freedom we will have. And that means we have to detach from what they told us we were. We have to detach from the money. We have to detach from the race. We have to detach from the gender. We have to become absolutely nothing.
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely nothing. Because that is where absolute freedom is, right? And when we start seeing each other just as pure light and pure love, can you imagine what the world will be like when we come out of the duality, the light versus the dark, the negative versus the positive, and we become neutral in our states of being? Then there's only play left. And we can create a whole and an entirely different world from there. But we have to we going through the shit right now, right? Where the identifiers are being released and dropped, and everybody's holding on, trying to hold on to something, right? Holding on to dear life for something that they can identify with, but it's leaving anyway. It's an inevitability.
Thanks. Definitely. Man, thank you, Nana, for even coming, blessing your presence. I definitely would love to talk, have another time where we could talk about something else. I know whenever you can, take time out, have a schedule, we can, plan this like a little bit later on.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. I just want to say thank you for the invitation. It was an honor to be here. It was an honor to be here. And it was an honor. Everybody was like, yeah, Robbie sharing my videos. I was like, what? He share my videos? He's such a beautiful soul. I love him to pieces.
Yeah. Man, we all in this together.
We are in this together.
It's just getting over the amnesia, waking up.
Yep. If you are an enemy, this is what's coming through. If you are enemy to one, you are enemy of all. Because mama's like, what the fuck is wrong with us? And that's how she be talking to me sometimes. She's like, what the fuck? I taught you better than that. You know better. When you know better, you do better. So be the change that you wish to see in the world. And what a mother wishes to see is for all her children to start loving each other again and coming back home.
Yeah, because everybody got a proposition of playing a part. And we definitely playing a part. You definitely is.
Yeah. I'm for everybody. People be like, is you a op? Because I don't do that separation game. I've evolved past that.
Agent Blacksmith.
I ain't no op. If I'm an op for anybody, I'm an op for the great mother and the prime creator. Because I have a contract with the prime creator and the great mother. I don't take sides. Right? If you love, if your heart is right, then because Inanna is the goddess of love. She is a guardian of the gateway of love, right? And many who will come to the gate of love and wish to pass to the higher realms, if they on that bullshit, guess what? You cannot come. You know the guardians of the gateways. You can't go. You can't get past the gateway of love if you're on that bullshit. Because she will see you for who you are. Oh, yeah, she will mirror. And if you don't like the love, it's because you on some bullshit. It's because you on some bullshit.
I could just sense your aura about, you know what I'm saying? Because it's so bright and it's just like gravitating towards the frequency of like high. Like, pulsating.
It's freedom, baby. It is freedom. It is freedom. And that's all I want. I want that for myself. I want that for everybody. Right? I want freedom. I don't care what you look like. If you can survive what's gonna happen, that's fine. If you decide to clock out because your frequency ain't came, then that's okay too. We love you. Thank you for being here. Right? It's you know, curtains for you. But it's, you know, if you want to go forward, you want to keep going, you gotta get your heart right.
Is it like the ones that's here right now, or that's actually doing the work, is the ones that's gonna come back later on this planet? Because I heard that some people that's actually have to, you know, just gonna come back into the new environment, the new.
Yeah. If they had their heart right and they still exit, and some of them didn't have their heart right, they kind of got to learn some more soul lessons. Those who come back, you can't come back on Earth unless your frequency is high.
Oh,
you got to be at a high vibrational frequency. So the babies that are being born these days, even through mothers who aren't, they're gonna trigger the shit out of their parents, right? Because they're not gonna be able to control them. They're gonna come back learning and knowing things that they don't know, that these parents don't know. These parents are gonna think they are geniuses. What did I give birth to? You gave birth to the angels.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are going to have to catch up quick to their children.
Yeah, I got a friend of mine. He actually works for the angelics right now, and what he was telling me, that in the angelic realm, there's a lot of children. There's a lot of kids that's like, you know, still need that kind of like, they ain't have the what is this? They didn't live long or something like that.
Yeah. They just came to the world just to bring the light and to leave. Okay. They didn't come to stay. For this, they ain't come for this shit. They came to bring in some light into the world and then go. Because there's a lot of children who pass away. They come and they want to come back, but they want to come through. And when we get closer, we got a lot of ascended masters that's ready to be born too. They up there in the higher realms, and they like, me, myself, my child want to come through. And he's like, I'm ready. I'm like, well, get your daddy together then. And all of the light babies, they be like, tell my mommy and daddy, because I get a lot of people who come to me for readings and different energy work. And I'm like, well, you know, your child is coming to me telling me you need to do this because they ready to come through. They not playing games. You need to get your heart right. You need to clear that sacral chakra, right? Yeah. Because they want to come back. They want to come back down. Yeah, they ready. They all around me right now. They like.
Yeah, I was doing some before we close it out. Yeah, I just want I just want to leave this right here, because I was going through some work myself, and I was reading on different like tribal history, and it led me to a tribal history where there was a deity. I don't know what his name is, but it was like native, the originals that was on his land. And he was actually going through a battle with a dragon. I don't know what dragon it was. It was a dragon.
Yeah.
I think it was something Shinyong or something like that.
They be having different names.
Shinron or something like that.
For whatever reason, Quetzalcoatl came up. He may be another version of that.
I felt like I was like that spirit that in that time frame. I was like defending my people or something like that.
You definitely got
I couldn't continue on that battle, and I had to be the sacrifice. And
a lot of us
that was one of my visions right there. That was one of my visions.
Yeah. A lot of us chose those type of lifetimes to experience loss and death in those ways, you know. And I know it's a lot. I channel in the source a lot, and he, you know, source chooses all kinds of experiences. So for me, it's like every experience is a source experience. But that's definitely was one of the experience I feel like as an Olmec, as a native Indian native chief, you did that for your people so that they can remember now what sacrifice means, what love really looks like. You know what I'm saying? because sometimes love ain't just being there, love is leading, so that people can understand that there's a better way. You know, we die in war and battle for people to see that we don't have to do this anymore.
Oh man. Well, man, we got to do another one. I'm telling you, we have to do another one. I'm telling you, man, got to do another one. Definitely. Hey man, thank you, man. Thank you, goddess. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate that. Yo, man, this has been a good one right here. I advise everybody to share, like, and subscribe and follow Shalimar and Inanna and her channel. And she's on TikTok too. So she's everywhere. So she's not hard to find. I definitely want to post that in the the link in the comments, and also, so everybody can find and reach you and stuff.
All right. Cool. I appreciate you having me. I love you so much. They said they proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. They said you ain't catching up. You already where you supposed to be. They said you gonna catapult real quick. So open up, be open, because there's a lot of things that they want to show you. So just be open. Don't close. Open.
Yeah.
That's all they wanted to say.
Gotta walk in the light. Gotta walk in the light without fear.
Yeah, without fear, because it's some mysteries that they want to reveal.
That's the biggest thing. I have experienced a lot of things. Some things I can't even talk about, but I experienced a lot of things. A lot of things. Definitely. Man, thank y'all for coming out for Tribal Country 44. This been a good episode right here with Shalimar, Inanna, Shalom. Definitely, man. Y'all stay tuned. Definitely, she's gonna be back for another one. Peace to all the gods and goddesses out there. Show Mother Earth the deepest gratitude. Also, leave offerings out there for Ra and Mother Earth and your ancestors also. So y'all take it easy. Peace to everybody. Yo.
Peace and love.